Come one, come all action figure lovers. This is Screws and Studs, and today we're going to be reviewing yet another Blood Angels action figure made by JoyToy. And this one is likely my second most favorite Blood Angels action figure that's released, and it's specifically a Blood Angels veteran with a death mask, which is really badass in my opinion. And again, this is one of the most highly anticipated releases for this year for me. One thing I'm going to point out here is that what's really cool about these action figures that were released by JoyToy is that it's basically a mirror replica of this sprue over here. So what you see right now is a Blood Angels upgrade sprue. This here is the exact replica of what the second veteran is wearing. This is the exact replica of the pauldron that this Blood Angels veteran is rocking. And finally, the most important thing is the death mask that this action figure has. So JoyToy basically replicated everything, in my opinion, almost to perfection with this action figure. So without further ado, let's review it. I cannot wait to get into this thing, so here we go! Here we go! Let's go. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Oh, you know what time it is, folks. It is fun time. So we are going to start off the fun by reviewing the Power Sword as usual and take a look at what is going on with it. So first and foremost, we have a very dark silver color, almost grayish. And then it transitions to a lighter color over here, which is a common effect that you find when painters actually paint power swords. So this looks pretty decent in terms of the coloring. What I do find is a complete miss is that the blue area over here is not covering the node. It has literally completely missed it. This blue area is supposed to be on top of this electric node. This side is the worst looking of the two, as this one isn't too bad, although I would have preferred if the blue was a little bit more prominent. But as you look at the rest of this power sword, it looks very well constructed and put together. And I really like this blood tier over here. As I said to you before, and many Blood Angels fans know, I really like how there is a metallic tone underneath here and it is covered with a translucent red color. And it really makes this sword stand out. The bolt pistol again has this nice weathered patina look over here, indicating that it is highly used, as you would expect a veteran to have. So this bolt pistol has been dry brushed with this light silver color over this dark silver and really represents the bolt pistol really well. Although again, as I have pointed out in my other videos, I kind of wish that these areas up here was more prominent in silver color of here, here, and over here. It just seems a little bit too dark in my opinion. But regardless, this is a very, very accurate representation of what a bolt pistol is supposed to look like. Moving on to the empty holster, let's see what we have. You have really messy dry brushing that is going on up here. However, there are areas in my opinion that are missed highlights. There should be highlights here, here, here. So let's take a look at this backpack over here. And this backpack has the same patina as you would find on the bolt pistol. So you have this very dark silver that's going on over here, almost like a metallic gray, I would have to say. And then it has been further weathered by adding light silver dry brushes all around. And looking at this halo up top, it is very nicely done and provides even more iconography and character to the action figure. All right, let's take a look at this very soft cape here. And this cape has a ton of things that are going on. There's a decent amount of shading on the back, but I would have to say the shading looks a little bit uneven in my opinion. So within the folds of the cape, you get a very messy looking area over here that I guess the shading was a little bit out of control. I think I would have preferred if JoyToy just stuck with this, I guess, lighter kind of shade that's going on. I don't know what kind of paint or substance that they use for this area, but it just does not look good in my opinion. But again, this is not going to matter because this is going to be facing the back. Speaking of the back, let's take a look at this. So there's really nothing to see except this nice matte black looking cape. And now let's take a look at the bread and butter of this set, which is the action figure itself. And we will start off taking a look at reviewing the helmet area. So again, I love this iconography. I like how the blood, tears, and drops on this death mask really pop out because of the painting technique that they used. However, I would have to say, unfortunately, that the shading is a little bit uneven in my opinion. I would have preferred if the shading on this eye socket matched the depth of this one. It is lightly shaded, but this one is obviously more shaded. And as we turn this around, I think there's a tad bit of a miss here because I don't think that most Space Marine hair is supposed to be this metallic bronze color. So this actually should have been a brown color in my opinion. So we're going to take a look at the pauldrons here. The screening is perfect with the company badge right here. And we're going to flip this around and we find again that this is perfectly screened. So taking a look at the chest piece, which is another focal point on this action figure, the chest piece has kind of uneven highlights over here. I guess I would have preferred it if it was a little bit more solid. So you have like these solid white areas and then this dark areas that was missed. And then again, you have this very weathered patina over here with the shading that's going on. And then as you progress down in this abdomen area, you also do get some highlighting that's going on, but it is very faint and very light. Okay, let's take a look at the belt region and the accessories that are hanging off from it. So this is a really cool icon that I like. Again, it brings out a lot of character to the action figure. Taking a look at the purity seals, it looks pretty clean. And then taking a look at the holster bolt pistol, you get more of the same mist highlights here and up here. So let's take a look at the loincloth over here. So you have this nice light bone color over here in this raised area, which is very cool. And then you have a darker type of tan color to represent the shading here on these recesses. However, I'm actually not a fan of the color that they used over here up top. I think I would have preferred if they used the brown color up here. And let's take a look at the back. And I would have to say I prefer the look of the back because it doesn't have that weird black shading that they used. And then finishing off with the iconography on the legs, this is perfectly screened. This Blood Angels ribbon that goes across this leg is very cool to me. The shading is properly in the recesses for the angels area, which is very nice. And so that is the review of the painting. Let's move on to taking a look at the articulation. If you know JoyToy articulation, it is very, very posable. So about the head, it is 360 degrees. And you have tilt that you can go side to side here, back and forth. It's like a lot of mobility up here, which is really nice for posing. About the shoulder area, once again, 360 degrees of rotation with a ratcheting mechanism so that it will lock in place to hold the various poses that you have for it. About this forearm area, this is 360 degrees of rotation. And then about the elbow region, it is a double jointed elbow where you can push it in this way and then furthermore this way. And then finally, about the wrist, it is 360 degrees of rotation. And there's a lot of tilt, just like the head. You can rock this back and forth, up and down, and then all around such as this. So there's a ball and socket joint over here. You cannot get 360 degrees of movement here. You can get very good range of rocking motion back and forth and then side to side, just like the head and the wrist. But about this lower torso area, you can actually get 360 degrees of rotation, just like you saw over here. And then with the leg area, so you can do 180 degrees from over here up to over here. And a lot of the movement is basically restricted because of the loincloth as well as the extra accessories over here. And about the knee area, you can do 90 degrees here, and then you can further bend it back through this second joint, as you can see here. And then with the ankles, again, rotation right over here. You can actually rotate this angle 360 degrees. And then finally with the toes, you have this mechanism over here, which allows for more dynamic posing. So now there's nothing left to do except give this Space Marine all its awesome regalia. Starting off with the cape, we're gonna put it on like so. And it is a perfect fit, as you can see. And then we lock the cape in place by putting these two pegs the hole in the back, like that. Look at that. And then next, we are going to put the bolt pistol in his right hand. And after a bit of finagling, here you go. Fully wielded bolt pistol. And then this saber-like power sword will be in his left hand. A little bit less finagling, but there is still some stretching of the fingers that you need to do. And voila, he is ready to cut down the Emperor's enemies. And so, folks, that wraps up the review. Let me wrap this up with my final thoughts as usual. All right, Blood Angels fans, what do I think of this action figure that's sitting in front of me? Well, I'm going to first and foremost get this out of the way. As you all know, if you've seen my videos, I'm always going to pick on the painting of JoyToy. Yes, there are painting issues as usual. These painting issues that I have pointed out are extremely negligible when you put this in your display cabinet and take a look at it from 2 to 3 feet away. You are never going to notice any of these quote-unquote issues. These action figures are very, very well made and very, if not completely faithful and accurate to their miniature counterparts. So I always give props and kudos where it is due, and definitely I give props to JoyToy for another very good action figure that they have produced. A few highlights for me for this action figure literally is the awesome death mask. I love it how just austere and creepy looking the death mask is, and that's exactly how it's supposed to look in game. I also like the billowing cape that's back here. And then the piece de resistance is the very ornate chest piece on the armor. There's so much character and so much iconography on this one that I think, again, this is definitely a must-buy for a Blood Angels fan, or even a must-buy for any kind of Space Marine fan. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review video. So there is even more Blood Angels action figures from the veteran set that will be coming up in the next few weeks, so definitely look for those. This is Spruce and Studs. Thank you so much as usual for watching and for your support. This channel definitely would not be here without your viewership. And as usual, I'll see you all in the next one.